on Babyface. Be on your best behavior. Be on your best
Yeah,
behavior. Okay.
I already cursed too
I,
much
be-
last week, so
I believe that we are feeding out to the folks out there, if I'm not mistaken. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome to the Who Moved My Freedom podcast channel. Yes, Babyface P, we renamed it from Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded. We're still Lot Lao around here. We're still Lot Lao. We're still talking about the lifestyles of all the folks out there who believe in freedom, Constitution, the Second Amendment, okay? All that kind of good, awesome American stuff. We are with you. We are here, but we rebranded it a little bit to the Who Moved My Freedom podcast.
that always made more sense.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. Who Moved My Freedom podcast makes more sense to me.
Yeah. Also, look, I've had Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded for a long time, but it's getting confusing. There's Latina Locked and Loaded, there's Locked and Loaded Latinos, Rolando and Joanna is like, it's all this kind of stuff.
They're
But
getting up in your business, it sounds like.
no, it's not that. It's just that
taking
I
over
wanna,
from the getting up. They get a little high and mighty. It sounds like.
No, I'm not saying that. Don't even try to start trouble with Rolando.
I haven't been invited on their podcast, and I'm very disappointed.
And being Cuban, and so you're not playing up your Cuban. You're what are you? How many % Cuban are you? 12, a quarter.
Yeah.
You're 25% Cuban.
It's enough to have put it all on my stuff. So college degrees, everything says I'm Hispanic.
Oh, really?
When you ask Lola, look at my last 4473. It's Hispanic/white. It's
there you go.
Legitimately what it says.
And yeah, hey, do what you got to do, brother.
Yeah.
So listen, shout out to everyone joining us. If you're joining us right now, let's see. A couple of things we got to do this all legit here. I think we're feeding out to everyone out there. I'm going to ask everyone, as you guys come in and join us, smash the thumbs ups, ring the bell, share this if you can. We're fighting against the YouTube algorithm here. So, hey, it is what it is. Let me roll in the beginning, and let's see.
Welcome back to the Hank
All right, guys.
Situation.
Welcome back.
Lifestyles
Smash the
of the
subscribe
locked and
button,
loaded.
smash the thumbs ups, ring the bell so you could be notified every time we go live. It's free for all. Yeah, there you go. Babyface too. It's free for all Monday. It's only me and Patrick here today.
It's 2/3 of Free for All Monday.
Yeah, Walter Keller has abandoned us. He's just we are like some puppies that Walter got and then decided like we pooped all over the furniture and stuff like that. And then he's like, you know what? I'm going to take you little puppies for a drive. And then he took us for a drive. Went over a bridge, tossed us out right out the window.
Haven't heard from him in weeks.
No, so big shout out to Walter out there. Whatever reason, he needed to take today.
They picked up a tank last time I heard, and
yeah, doing it. Yeah, he's a big shot, man. Dirtfoot Racing is blowing up. All of that kind of stuff. This is, as I said, the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. I'm your host, Hank Strange. I'm joined by my friend, partner in crime, cohort, conspirator. I don't know what other...
You give me far too much credit.
What's the other things that Hillary Clinton wants to put on us? Despicables?
Yeah, Despicables. We are the Despicables.
Yeah, something like that.
Not degenerates. Despicables? I don't know.
Yeah, some kind of...
Deplorables. Deplorable. Basket of deplorables.
There you go. Baboon. Scoundrels. Rapscallions. Scallywags.
Yeah.
Pirates. Pirates.
On a good day, I've been known to rap scallywag.
We're going to have to look that up.
My heyday.
Okay, we're going to have to look it up and see what it even
what the verb
means.
is for rapscallion?
Yeah, I don't know. But this is episode 741 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. It's free for all Monday. We're joined by the famous Babyface P on YouTube.
Nearly world famous.
Welcome to the show. Growing every day. You guys make sure you subscribe to Babyface P. And a big shout out to TUSC Firearms Crypto Payments for sponsoring the show. Check it out right there on the hat and everything. They're one of the sponsors here of the show. We appreciate them. This is going to be the go-to as Operation Choke Point ramps up, it never went out of effect on the firearms industry. So
Makes no sense.
it's still out there, and so TUSC is developed. It's not just for the firearms industry, right? The TUSC guys want TUSC to be used for whatever we want to do, buying stuff online and all that, buying stuff from each other. But they are pro Second Amendment guys as well as pro constitutional folks. And if you all want to know more about them, just what is it? Brave browser. You can search TUSC Crypto, DuckDuckGo, whatever you Google. I need to switch over to the Brave browser. I need to do that, right?
I use DuckDuckGo at the moment, but I don't know anything about the Brave browser.
Yeah.
It's Chromium based, isn't it? That's
yeah.
what it is.
Isn't it on blockchain? People said they
open
get
source web browser developed by Brave Software based on Chromium. So it's based on the foundation of what Chrome is based on. But it's without Google, it sounds like.
Yeah, and I think there's different points. There's like some kind of crypto that goes along with that you get paid, for participating with it, and we need to look more into that. You are the tech expert.
I currently use Google because I have to use it in my day-to-day, so that's what I'm on.
I unfortunately is still on that. Like, even when we're showing stuff here, I'm using Firefox, I guess.
I'm good for you. That's at least a step.
Is Firefox really any good? Is it?
It's a step in some direction. That's all I know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the best thing out there, but hey, it's what we're doing. You should look into this, Babyface P. You look into Brave. As a matter of fact, let's ask the folks out there, because I remember we had a discussion with this when we had. Weren't you? No, you were not on the show when we had the owner of 2A Gun Show come on, right?
What do you mean?
Yeah. So, by the way, you guys should check that out. 2A Gun Show. It's a competitor to Gunbroker. They're supposed to have better fees and stuff like that. They're kind of new out there. They're still seems like it's still in development. Still a work in progress. But hey, I welcome competition in the space. But we were having that Brave browser conversation. If you folks out there want to talk about that, we could do it. It's FreeForAll Monday. It's just myself and Patrick, Babyface P. Kathleen Music Lover says the white Cuban, is that like a white buffalo?
We're a very rare breed. Actually, we're not. If you go to Cuba, there's very light colored Cubans and very dark colored.
Absolutely,
Cubans.
yeah.
We range the gambit of colors.
Yeah. Don't tell anyone this, but the Spaniards are European.
Yeah.
Quietly
yeah.
Quietly as it's kept.
we have a family member who used to do family tree stuff and traced us all the way back to like 1400s, 1300s on the parts of the family. We have a castle somewhere in England. Going that far back.
There's a castle face P.
Something, yeah. I don't know. It goes up my grandfather's tree line, but if you go up my grandmother's tree line, which is the Cuban side, we go back to the Spaniards.
Oh, okay. Yes, and Spaniards are Europeans. This is.
Yep.
I hate to bust anyone's bubble out there. There's a little difference with, like, I guess, and you would be more of an expert on this than I am, but I'm guessing Latino is more like Spanish is the language, but it's more mixed with indigenous people and
Latin. When you hear about
cultures.
Latin, that, as far as I'm aware, Latin always is, for me, is like Latin America. That's like Mexico, South America. That's Latin America is like the middle section of going from Mexico down to northern South America. So we're really not Latin per se, because we don't come from Latin America. We come from Cuba, and before that, Spain.
Yeah, Caribbean.
But, I mean, that's only
Cuba,
only a quarter. The rest of my family is like English and Irish. So
right. Yeah, well, I would put Cubans in the Caribbean category. If there's any other Cubans out there, what do you think about that?
Yeah.
Right? Cubans are like Caribbean. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. There's Spanish Caribbean versus African Caribbean, I guess you'd say.
Afro-Carib or whatever.
Afro-Caribbeans.
Yeah,
because you come from Afro-Caribbeans, where I come from Spanish Caribbeans. I think that's how it works. Like Spaniard Caribbeans.
Yeah, maybe. So there's,
No?
I mean, okay, so
Guyana. You
Guyana.
have the whole Indian thing going on.
Yeah, Guyana is on the South American continent. It's the northeastern South American part of the continent.
See, you're right on that. You're right on that cusp.
Yeah, and it's so even though it's on the continent of South America, it's also considered Caribbean, and then the bloodline, is so Guyanese people are 49% of African descent, which my dad is from, 49% of Indian descent, and 2% Chinese, kind of like an Asian thing. So there's all of that mixed up in my blood, and then in that little, this is all part of the slave triangle. So there's a lot of piracy, pirates, not just the slave trade, but just shipping and trading in general going on, and just everybody knocking everybody's boots, getting all up in it.
I mean, what else you got to do in the hot summer sun down there?
What else would you do back in the days when you could only there was no planes,
no entertainment? Yeah, you're stuck. Like,
yeah.
What are you going to do?
There was no trains. There was no automobiles.
Yeah.
It was only boats. And we're talking sail power. So, yeah, you work. You did the basics back in the olden
days.
Then
you came home and you worked.
You ate. You worked. You ate. You slept. You used the bathroom, and a big part of your recreation was knocking boots.
That's right.
Making babies. So that's how a lot of people really have like a mixed up kind of heritage, and a lot of people that are from the Caribbean. So like Cubans are like that. There's so many different kinds of Cubans that you could come across.
Mm-hmm. Well, because Cuba is the same thing. There's the Spaniards, and then there's the Caribbean people. There's the Africans. So that's why skin colors are all different in Cuba.
Yeah,
it's all sorts of melting pot in Cuba.
Yeah, Kathy Music Lover said Spaniards were not nice to the people they conquered.
No, hell no, they weren't.
Yeah.
No, the Spanish were the Spanish were the conquerors. So yeah, of course the Caribbean people. Were there anybody living on the Caribbean islands? Were there native Caribbeans?
Yes, native Indians, just like Native American Indians.
You go down to like South America, and you have all the tribes down there. I didn't know if they were.
Yeah, they're called.
Yeah, no, Spain conquered a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, so in Guyana, for example, Guyana is 75% Amazon, and so they had Amazon Indians. And there's a little tiny trace of that in my bloodline, probably like how a lot of people in America have a little tiny trace of native Indian. There's a little bit of that in there that actually, like, when you do the genetic stuff, that pins me to Guyana specifically. So, yeah, they were always, or not, I shouldn't say always, but yeah, you had native Indians in a lot of these different places. So, Scorched Earth Firearms says berries and juices. Berries and juices. That's his comment. Scorched Earth. Shout out to Rod Mills, starting trouble on the Facebooks all the time. Shout out to him. Yeah, hey, listen, you gotta troll people, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And
so how was your Easter?
My Easter was very uneventful. Just stayed home here with Lola and the boys, and we were doing a lot of work in the background of the channels, specifically this one, and that's why we've changed it over. But there's so many things, that because man, we just took a massive hit from YouTube. I don't know if you've noticed anything. Yeah, but in the last week or 2 weeks, like YouTube just cut the legs out.
Are you talking on growth or monetization? Like what got hit the hardest?
Everything. I mean, right now we are making about $60-$70 for this month off of YouTube from advertising, and we've got a lot of videos on there. So we basically did that. So we spent a lot, it's a lot of time because there's all these videos. So you have to go back in every video and go through each thing and make sure you got the titles right and checking out whatever other metadata is in there and getting rid of things and all of that kind of stuff. So that was mentally, and I know that doesn't seem like a physically draining thing, but it is mentally draining because it's a very repetitive task going back through, and I only got like halfway through. I didn't even get all the way through everything. So things
are straight across the board for me. I'm looking at my stats. It doesn't look like things have changed a whole lot. Last month, I got another 100,000 views on What Does a Silencer... Oh, no, I got another 32,000 views on What Does a Silencer Sound Like.
Yeah.
If only I hadn't said anything, that would still be getting millions of views a day.
Don't think about it, Patrick.
I know. I don't want to think
Stop.
about it. It just
Don't
makes me angry.
don't make yourself. Don't go down this
I
path.
think so. Interesting story. I think
Mhm.
we single-handedly. I think my channel single-handedly moved the. What is it? The
needle?
East German AK parts kit market.
Okay.
We bought that. I bought that parts kit from Brandon Herrera for a average AK parts kit price 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It was like $450. And nobody, 3 years ago, nobody wanted the parts kits were drying as like 74 kits were drying up a little bit, but 47 kits were still pretty plentiful, and you can get a Romanian kit for $350. I think we paid $450 or $550 for that kit because Jeff specifically he has ties to Germany. He specifically wanted an East German. But I looked a week ago. One of the companies, Apex Parts Kits, Apex, who I've bought from before, posted a East German parts kit on Facebook, probably last week. Again, nobody wanted those 10 years ago. They were everywhere, and nobody wanted East Germans because they had the weird plastic and the ribs for her pleasure, all that. They sold it. The last time I checked, the high bid on it was $2,500.
Wow.
$2,500
for just a part kit. What's in the parts kits? Just the
no,
the
I
flat...
don't know if it even had a barrel. It was just the chopped up receiver, the trunnions, the stock, the grip, sights, all that sort of stuff.
Is there a flat receiver that needs to?
Didn't have a flat. No, it was just a dirty ass parts kit. I don't know why people wanted that.
That's MP5 money.
That's what I said. I was like, I could get an MP5 SD kit for that price. For an East German? Are you crazy?
Yeah, that is...
I go find what it ended up selling for. It was crazy expensive.
Yeah.
But no, I was proud to think that maybe I stimulated that market. Because that's still my third, fourth, fifth, and I believe sixth top video.
Oh, okay.
Is always that AK build.
Oh, okay.
And speaking of, we're going to make some changes to my AK. If anybody knows what this is, let's see if anybody out there can tell me what they think this is.
Can I say?
You know what it is, probably.
Oh, is it a trunnion?
That is a trunnion. What would go in this trunnion, though? It would sit... The gun would face this direction. There you go.
So
what would go in this trunnion?
Safety?
No. There's a pin would sit right in here.
Oh, yeah. The folding stock.
So I think I was going to put this on a different gun. It ended up not working out because of the hole alignments. But I think we're going to be up the Russian 70 or 47 that I have with a side folder. Side folder and some new hardware, some new handguards, some cool stuff. So this might be coming sooner than later because I want to give this a try.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't know how to do it yet. So we'll figure it out.
Let me give a quick shout out to Rain. Thank you very much for the super chat, Rain. We appreciate that. He says, beware of fake gun websites. 2 have been discovered robbing people / safe gun shop and gun warehouse are both fake. And please report to FBI and NSA. The form of payment is bogus. Blah, blah, blah. Really? Have you?
I will throw out a disclaimer here because I do a lot of internet shopping, especially when it comes to guns, hardware, accessories. I don't hardly shop at I don't have a local gun shop that I go to any longer. I do a lot of internet shopping because I shop deals. I don't think I'm your average consumer. I'm the type of consumer that jumps on ridiculous deals when they come up. If you go to a store, if you go to a website and something is in stock that shouldn't be in stock or the prices are pre-pandemic, think twice about buying from them. Make sure you buy if you are going to take the risk, make sure you buy with a credit card that has a chargeback policy in case they don't come through. Know your chargeback policy limit because a lot of these stores will try to put you off for the 3 months or 2 months, whatever it takes for that policy to end. And then you have no recourse. And do a quick Google search on like so-and-so reviews. So safe gun shop reviews, whatever it is. And you'll probably find a lot of people telling you either, I bought from them, they're good to go. Or a lot of people saying, watch yourself. So
yeah,
that's my little internet tidbits.
No, that's a good point. Caveat emptor, I guess. Is that the right one? Is caveat emptor the right one? I think I don't know if I said it right. Is that buyer beware? I don't know. I'll have to look up my Latin. But
I
yeah.
don't know that. Maybe I've heard it before and I just don't recognize it.
Wait, yeah, let me see. I'll look it up here. So, Bruce Ludeman says, at Babyface P, can you build me an AK?
Caveat emptor. No, you're right. I don't know if it's pronounced like that, but yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, let's see.
I can. I could absolutely physically do the work. Legally? No. Can't do it legally.
Yeah.
I don't have an FFL, so I can't do it legally.
Let's see if we could
Am I capable? Yes, I'm completely capable of doing it.
Yeah, caveat emptor, the principle that the buyer alone is responsible for checking the quality and suitability of goods before a purchase is made.
There he is. We got a guess.
Caveat emptor. Oh, hold on. Let's see who we got. What? Boom! Oh my goodness. Look at that.
I know.
Look at that dude right there joining us. Surprise guest. Richard
can I throw
Hoffman.
this out there? This might be a little weird, but your color looks very good.
My color on
you were a little under the weather last time we saw you in person, and you look right as rain.
Yeah,
and it's just good to hear.
Yes,
I'm getting better.
Is it gauche? Is it wrong for us to say welcome to the land of the living?
No, not at all.
Welcome back, Richard Hoffman of BWE. Good to see you, my friend. We haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah. Been a while.
Yes. Everyone out there, smash the thumbs ups just for Richard Hoffman. Of course, you had a scare. Do you want to, this is your first time coming back?
Yeah.
You want to tell the folks what happened with you?
I had a big scare. As some of you know, this last year has been, 2020 was a shit year.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't feel well all year. I was tired. I was, just little things. And I had talked to Patrick about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured, well, I'm 56 years old. It's just my age.
Mm-hmm.
And I wound up, after I came shooting with you guys.
It was only like a week after, or a week and a half or something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't long afterwards. I was sleeping most of the day. I'd come out to the shop, work for half an hour at the most, couldn't do any more, came in, sleep for 2 hours, do it again. And my wife said, okay, you need to go to the doctor. So I went to, one of these urgent care places.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a CT scan and said, go home, we'll call you with the results. Okay, fine. I went home, they called me, they said, you need to come in right now. Okay. I went in and they said, you have cancer. Your lower intestine has a bunch of perforations in it. You need to go to the emergency room right now. Don't go home. Drive right across the street to the emergency room. And went into the emergency room. They got a copy of the CT scan, looked at it, did some other scans, x-rays, whatnot. And they said, congratulations, you've got cancer, colon cancer. And they said, we're going to go in and we're going to cut out part of your lower intestine, your colon, give you a shit bag.
It's the best part of the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Can't get up anymore.
And it's like, okay. And they said, your lower intestine has a bunch of perforations in it, which means shit was probably leaking into what they thought was shit was leaking into my belly, which will kill you faster.
That's how you,
than the cancer.
Sepsis will kill you faster than anything else.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So they ended up cutting me open. They said that my body reacted the way it should, and the perforations and the cancer were all on the if you're looking at my body on the outside of the lower intestine and the colon, the side that would be facing the inside of my belly wall. Mm. And they said, your body pushed that up against your belly wall and sealed it off. Mm. So all the perforations were inside that cavity, and it wasn't going into my belly. Mm-hmm. They said, so that's good. They found out the cancer went to my liver and my right lung. Wow. They didn't test the liver because it's on the back side of the liver and they couldn't get to it to do a biopsy, but they biopsied my lung and they said, yeah, same cancer. But it didn't go to my lymph nodes. And they said, we don't understand why, because cancer always goes from your colon to your lymph nodes and then out to everywhere else. And I said, that's just because my body's screwed up and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do most of the time. I'm just not normal. So.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
We know that.
You know, cut me open and took out the part of my lower intestine where it comes across the top and then goes down.
Transverse and then descending or something like that?
Most of that downspout out.
Okay, is that the ilium?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, the reason why I would know that is because I've had surgery on my ilium also. Crohn's surgery on the lower ilium, which is really super important. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they said we were able to save enough of it where, you know, after all the cancer is done, they said we'll be able to reattach your butthole. So someday I can have a butthole again that works. Now it's just
important to being a human, you know. The butthole is very important to life.
Yeah. It's just for show now. You know?
Technically you're bionic, right? I mean, you're a cyborg.
I think so. Yeah.
Man, but, it's yeah.
Yeah, it was scary, you know.
But so you and I talked last week a little bit, and you said Prognosis is, out of the possibilities of Prognosis, you're on the better side of things.
Yeah. I talked to the chemo or the cancer doctor, the oncologist that I'm going to be dealing with, and she said, you know, because I said, okay, am I going to die today, tomorrow, next month, a year from now? And she said, well, if you look at all the statistics, only 14% of the people with colon cancer live past 5 to 7 years. And it's like that's not what I want to hear. But she said, you've got the right attitude. You're going to beat this, and, you know, you're positive, and, you know, so you should do fine. And I've talked to a bunch of people who know somebody who is somebody who, you know, has somebody in their family that got colon cancer 20 years ago and they're still kicking.
When Richard and I talked, I think you and I agreed that there's a lot of it that goes into it is mind over matter. Like, you can control, if you have the right attitude, you can work. You can almost heal yourself in a way. Like, if you are sure you're going to die, then you might. There have been instances, and him and I talked about this as well. There have been instances of people who you put 16 bullets in them in what should be mortal places, and they're like, I'm not dying yet, and they don't. There have been people who shoot themselves in the foot or the hand and go, oh my God, I'm going to die, and they bleed to death because they are prepared to die. Mm-hmm. Versus, you know, other people who are just like, nah, I ain't dying.
There's dudes that have a good dump on the toilet seat and don't ever come back off that toilet seat.
Yeah. Luckily, Richard, for the time being, doesn't have to worry about that at all. He can go wherever he feels like. No more road trips.
I can go right now if I want.
Yeah, no more stopping for road trips. You're good to go.
I could be pooping right now.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, I wouldn't know either.
That's
Yeah.
That's a little weird,
Yeah.
but yeah.
LV Louis, and by the way, lots of folks out there. I'm trying to throw it up on the screen because lots of people are sending you good wishes and prayers and all that kind of stuff. Um,
And I appreciate all that. Trust
yeah,
me.
yeah, it is. You know, largely a lot of being a human being is mind over matter for sure.
Yeah.
I really think so.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just to jog back a little bit, I mean, just to paint a picture for you guys, and I think how many videos did we put out from the last time we saw Richard? Because that's when I got my MP5, right? So we
Yeah.
put out a couple of
That's-
a few of those. We didn't put everything out yet, and I just remember thinking during that whole thing, and then even editing it, like, wow, you know, Richard does not look good right here. I mean, kind of like
Yeah, and-
greenish. This is how you
Yeah,
looked.
and when
Yeah,
I
I've
came
never
out,
seen
I
you
said,
like that.
hey, I don't know how much I'm going to be doing. I'm just not feeling well today, and
yeah. That was the craziest thing. Is you're like,
Yeah.
I just can't get myself up and
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, we're like when we were shocked and then not shocked at the same time. I think when your wife let us know that, hey, Rich is in the emergency room. You know, he's in the hospital. He's going to be in here
Yeah.
for a while. But man, you know, the angels were on your side. The universe doesn't want you back yet.
Yeah.
You know, so many things that I would say that, you know, it's I'm so happy that you're here. I know Patrick feels that way, obviously. So does Walter, Lola.
I haven't sucked enough information out of Richard's brain yet for him to leave.
Yes.
There's
he hasn't
plenty more
sucked
than
me
this
enough yet.
Yeah.
gained.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Um,
Feeling better, I see.
What was when you went into the hospital? You told me your O2 stats. Your what's it called? Were so unbelievably low, and I've had a little bit of experience with this.
Yeah,
but
the,
yeah. If there's anybody that's nursing, do you
The
remember the number?
hemoglobin.
Hemoglobin stats.
Yeah, when I went in, my hemoglobin was at a 5.
And so a normal, healthy adult male is like 13 to 18, something.
14 to 20, I think they
Yes.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a
And-
5 is like circling the drain.
Yeah.
Like,
And
for
I've
a normal
had-
patient, 5 is just.
Yeah, I've had doctors in the hospital. I've had, doctors who were customers, who were friends, nurses and everything else say, how the hell were you even functioning?
Because you're one tough son of a bitch, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm surprised you were able to be out here on the range with us. I just remember like how tired you were,
Yeah.
and I was like, wow, you know, Rich is tough. How did he even get out here like that?
It's just one of those, I got shit to do,
Yeah, yeah,
What else can I say? I got stuff to do. I don't have a choice. I have to do it.
yeah. NOC, the real NOC, our friend Kevin Dixie gave us
Yeah.
$5 here. He says, "What support is this man needing?" Good question from Kevin Dixie.
I've offered, from my point of view, I offered if there was work that I could take on for him, I would do that. The other thing I offered your wife was food. If you guys want like dinner
Yeah.
one night, I can order in Uber Eats. Like whatever you guys need to help get you through things.
Yeah,
let me know.
actually, this has almost been a blessing. Owning my own business.
Mhm.
We haven't had health insurance in 17 years. And I went into this with no insurance whatsoever. The
Wow.
hospital has a whole staff of social workers, people who specialize in that healthcare.gov crap, which I had tried to do before, and it was just a complete joke. And, oh, you're going to owe us $3,000 a month. And it's like, well, I can,
Yeah.
keep
good
a
luck.
roof over my head and keep the kids fed, or I can get insurance. Let's see. Which one am I going to do?
Mhm.
Mhm.
But the hospital came in and said, we will get you insurance from actually my insurance started April 1st,
Okay.
and they're paying it. They got me Florida Blue, and it's the silver plan. I've been told by a bunch of people that's a really good plan. And because I'm a small business and I don't make a shit ton of money,
Mm-hmm.
I get a bunch of money from the government to pay for insurance. And then the hospital said, we've got a grant program for the next year or until you're done with your cancer treatment. We'll pay your premiums.
Oh,
Jesus.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
If you got anything else going on, you want dental work, you got some bunions on your feet, now is the time to go in.
Yeah.
And I mean, the hospital's been great with everything. Anything you need. Anything.
Can we say what hospital that is, or
call.
do we want to avoid saying that? Just...
That is Orlando Health.
Okay. God bless those people.
And they own a whole, a whole slew of hospitals around here.
Mm-hmm.
And, so they've got the money to hire all these people. I mean, they got me set up with the insurance. And then I said, well, I really need to get insurance for my wife too.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, no problem. Call this girl. That's what she specializes in. And she went through and set everything up. All I had to do was get on the phone and answer half a dozen questions for her. And she got the whole thing set up. Now we both have insurance.
Awesome.
And we can actually afford it.
Yeah. And both of you guys need to take care of your health. I saw people there mentioning your wife, saying God bless her. I mean, it really is a blessing that she kept pushing you to go to the hospital, because I know the kind of dude that you are. You're just like tough, and you would have just tried to power through that. And it's a good thing that she got you, kicked your butt, and made you go in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And and then hell. Was it the day before I went into surgery? Because I was in the hospital, I think, for 2 days before they got me into surgery. Because they had to get my hemoglobin up. It was so low, they said, we can't operate on you. Mm-hmm. We'll come near you with the knife and you'll die on the damn table. So they gave me blood transfusions. I think I ended up having 5 pints of blood. And the night before my surgery, our cat Mojave, who I do the videos with, had a stroke and passed away.
Oh man.
And Mickey had to deal with that too.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's
sorry,
like,
man.
What the fuck?
Have you heard the when it rains it pours? Because I swear to God that is true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it works on both sides. Sometimes you're in good faith, you're good luck, and things are coming your way. And then other times you're on the shit end of the list, and it feels like you just can't get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. My big moral of the story for everybody is go get your goddamn asses checked.
Yeah.
If you're not feeling well, because I didn't have the symptoms. They say colon cancer, you'll have a lot of blood in your stool. None.
Mm-hmm.
You'll feel this, you'll feel that. Nothing. I was tired.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like if there were perforations, your body was just constantly fighting off infections. Did they give you a white blood cell count? Like, was your white blood cells just
it was through the roof?
Yeah. Your body's just constantly fighting off infection, trying to stay ahead, and that is exhausting on any human.
Yeah.
Even when you just got the common cold, you're tired.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. But it'll all work out. We're going to beat this thing.
Yeah. You're still here.
Anyways.
Yeah, you're still here, man.
I really, really think it comes down to attitude. There are people who you're just not going to make it, but I really honestly think there is a certain amount of I'm just not going anywhere type of attitude, and I think it works for people.
Yeah, I believe that if your time is, our time's written, and if it's in the books, you can't stop it, and if it wasn't meant to be, they can't take you either, and ultimately, if you're here, if you wake up every day, you got to fight. As bad as it is, you got to get up and fight. Look, you're an ass kicker.
Yeah.
You know, we need you to be. We need a curmudgeon, a grumpy old curmudgeon around here.
Well, so on the same thing, on the same line, my great uncle who died a year ago, last year, or just before COVID, I think, at 80, what was he, 82, something like that, got diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
And pancreatic cancer, for anybody that isn't a cancer expert, is pretty much a death sentence. It's like the mortality rate is like 85%.
It's very painful too.
Awful painful. And he was one of those that was like, it's not gonna kill me. I'll be fine. Went and got on a low-dose chemo treatment, and lived another 7 or 8 years, and the cancer never came back. He died last year at like 94.
Awesome.
Like,
I mean, it's not good. It's not good that he's not with us, but yeah, you know.
No, but I mean, no. He actually had a great story. His going out was wonderful because he got to call everybody up and say, "Listen, I think I'm on my last days. It's nice. A family got to come and visit." And then he was like, he had one of those days in the hospital where he was like, "I think I'm done," and went to sleep and didn't wake up. Like, wonderful way to go.
Yeah,
no,
that's the way to go.
For like 8 years, and it never showed back up.
Yeah.
Just because he decided, I'm not dying from that.
Yeah. Let me get this in. This is from Rod Mills. Scorched Earth Firearms Training gave us $10. He says, Richard, you have support from Scorched Earth Firearms Training LLC. Godspeed, brother.
The problem with people like you, Richard, is I have a feeling you're not the type that likes asking for other people to help.
No, I won't ask.
Exactly. And that's an issue because people will gladly go out of their way to help. You know,
and that's why it was so nice with the hospital where they were just like, oh, here, you know, we're going to do this. We're going to set you up with this. We're going to, you know, because I didn't ask. They just did it.
You know what, though? Yeah. It's karma, man. I know that you do good things to people and you look out for people, right? And it's karma, and the universe took care of you, and you don't have to ask. We'll do stuff to help you out. All of us can do things that's within our scope that's not going to take away from us, and we could help out BWE Firearms and keep you going and all that kind of stuff. And you don't have to ask us, man. We're glad that you're here, and you did like, for example, right before that, you did a lot of stuff for me, helping me put that MP5 together.
Yeah.
You know,
how is that MP5?
It's beautiful. It's awesome, man.
I wish we had enough ammo to shoot them.
Yeah.
Well,
I was looking today. I'm trying to find a so back on the gun topic, I guess. I'm trying to find a friggin' 9mm mold so I can load up some subsonics. And then I cannot get my hands on small pistol primers. Yeah. I actually. Didn't I
give you some 9mm ammo the other day?
I know, but you know the problem with that is I don't want to shoot it because I don't know when I'm getting more. It's like a drug. I don't know when I'm going to get the next fix, and I don't want to get rid of it.
Did you imagine a day? Now that was just a white. What was that? White box.
It was like Winchester white box or something. It was one 50-round box of ammo.
Came from Mark. Came from Beard Almighty. Like. Did anyone see? Oh boy! Hold on, CCI.
Was it CCI?
Oh my goodness! No! Richard's got CCI up here.
Oh,
pistol primers.
That is
oh
that
boy!
Is gold right now. That
2,000.
Oh
wow!
Fuck! Excuse my language.
And I got another half a box over there.
It is. That is money right now. So I got a powder today. I'm trying out. I got an 8-pound jug of Winchester's new 244, I think is what it is. It's a little bit slower than Tight Group, a little bit faster than 231, which is like the Magnum powder.
Yeah.
I got a 8-pound jug of it on the way today, which I'm proud of, at regular cost at like $160 for 8 pounds, which is a good deal. But I can't find any damn primers. I have.
You know who has primers?
I have 4 sleeves. I'm not selling my watch.
You know who has primers?
I am not desperate
Patrick,
to sell my
if
watch
he's
for
watching
primers.
right now and you're talking about primers,
so
Mark,
back in stock.
Mark has primers.
I have like 4 sleeves of.
Although he's mad at you, he's mad at you. By the way, I don't know if you're aware of that.
What did I do?
He's mad about the day when we were talking about Pincus.
He didn't like my opinion on Pincus?
He was, I don't know, I think he was really mad. He was like, you and Patrick reading stuff. I was like, what was?
Oh,
I think I messed up. I think I messed up more reading than you did, but he was very angry. I was like, oh, you got to take it up with him.
I'm a pretty good reader. I thought I
you
did pretty
good.
well.
I thought you did good, but yeah, he's got primers though for you. He's selling those primers, so
just bend over.
Yeah, you know what he wants.
You gotta hand him out one primer at a time.
Yeah. You know what you need to walk away from.
It ain't happening. It's not even on my desk tonight.
Yeah.
It ain't happening.
By the way, let me just get this in here. Kathleen Music Lover says, "Real NOC, I saw the video of you shooting the Shield Plus." To which NOC says, I still haven't watched it. Did I do good? By the way, I have a video going up with Kevin Dixie. I don't know if it's... I got to check with Lola and see if she turned it on or not. It's got Kevin Dixie, Eric and Chad from Iraq Veteran, and myself in that video when we were out in Georgia. In Georgia. It was done November 2020.
That old?
Damn.
I think if Lola hasn't turned it on already, it's getting turned on soon.
I have one more video going up tomorrow because I forgot a video in the series. Mm-hmm. After that build video, I don't know what my next video is going to be next weekend. I haven't figured it out yet. I gotta find something.
Yeah, well, I mean, BWE, Richard Hoffman. You can.
I would love to do another STG. Let's see, what else does Richard have? I want to shoot don't you have like a Beretta? No, you have a Sterling?
I've got the Sterling. Mm-hmm. Well, I've got the Lanchester.
Yep. That's a cool
Stan Mark II.
Mm.
And the Sterling. Those are my 3 British guns.
Wait, is one of those integrally suppressed or no? No. Okay.
No. None of mine.
There is a version of the Sterling that's integrally suppressed, right?
Yeah. You can get.
Yes, there is.
Can't you get all of those? Well, no, not the
Not the Lanchester.
Yeah, the Mark.
Sten you can do integrally suppressed.
Yeah.
Sten's easy because you just unscrew the barrel and screw the new one on.
Yeah.
I just haven't made one yet because.
Who has that? Is it Walter that has that integrally suppressed, or no one in the crew has one of those, right?
He does.
I don't know if he's got an integrally suppressed Sten or not.
Yeah, maybe I've only seen pictures. Maybe that's what it is. Like that would be so cool, man. That would be so cool. By the way, Optimus Vader out there says, I work electrical remodeling in Orlando Health, and the people are really nice. Awesome.
Yeah, they're really good people there.
Yes.
Tell them they took care of me. They kept me way too damn long. I was there over 2 weeks.
How was the food? I hear the food's terrible at hospitals.
Tell you the truth, I don't know, because I only got to eat food and drink water the last 2 days I was there.
Yeah,
they usually don't want you
on like
eating.
A liquid diet where they're giving you
Jello
nutrients. Yeah.
No, I couldn't even have Jello.
No,
nothing by mouth. No water, no Jello.
That's the worst.
Nothing.
What about ice chips? Can someone put? Oh, not even ice chips.
I know ice chips is like always the bare minimum. You can't even have that.
They kept planning on doing the procedure.
Yeah.
And for one reason or another, I mean, they did the surgery, and in the surgery they gave me some goddamn drug that they couldn't give it to me for another 3 days or something like that. Well, they were thinking they had to give me another dose of that when they did the biopsy. And so, okay, we can't do that. So you've got to be on, the bag lunch. And, they fed me through an IV.
It seems bad, but you're alive, and probably in that stage you were feeling so terrible that you didn't really care that much, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was funny because there was one bag that lasted 24 hours. And then there was another bag that was lipids that they gave me once a day. maybe twice a day. And they're both real thick and real sugary.
Yep.
So they clog up the damn IV lines and everything else.
Yep.
And they can't use that IV line twice. They have to replace it every single time.
Oh man.
And because it's so thick, it would get air bubbles in there, and it would make the IV machine freak out. And these poor nurses, every time we're trying to get this damn thing going, it's like, oh no, here's how you do it. Wheel the damn machine over here, take the hose out, let me flick it a couple of times.
Yeah.
And they're like, how the fuck do you know this? And I said, because I've watched them do it for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But,
did you ever feel, because IV nutrients versus your stomach nutrients, did you feel hungry all the time? Like,
I was dying.
Okay, I figured that was part of.
I was ready to eat the IV machine.
Yeah, but you like a week and a half, you just can't. So you're just hungry 24/7.
Yep.
Oh,
and
that sounds awful.
that damn tube that went up my nose and then all the way down into my stomach to pump my stomach out.
Oh,
so the acids didn't get,
Oh my God, sounds awful.
That tube hurt.
Yeah. When you have major surgery, none of that stuff. Like, I remember I had major surgery when I did the ilium, when I had to have my ilium resectioned, and I woke up and pulled that thing out, and there was this nurse there when I was pulling it out that she held me down and smashed it back into and I started cursing and carrying on. I was like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not fun. And then you got like there's literally tubes coming out of everything. You got out the pee-pee hole, this tube over here.
Oh, yeah.
This,
I
it's
had
not
one
fun.
coming out I had a drain coming out my belly. They ended up putting in what the hell did they call it? It was an IV line that went from my arm all the way up
through the major vein
and down into that main sac of arteries and veins right above your heart.
Yeah.
Because apparently the food shit they give you is so caustic, it'll eat your goddamn veins.
Holy.
So they had to put one of those in to get it, right into the vein flow of blood and diluted.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what do you mean it's caustic? It's supposed to be food.
Yeah. So with all of this, here's something that I was thinking about, and I know this might be a little bit morbid, but have you rewritten the will so that I inherit some of the guns? I don't need to get all of the guns.
Please. I'd like a transferable Uzi, thank you.
Yeah, there's a couple. I would take the Sturmgewehr. I mean,
Oh, that'd be nice. Well, we don't have.
Patrick doesn't want that. I call dibs. Yeah, we'll figure out a way.
It's non-transferable.
I'm taking that bastard to the grave.
Oh, you're taking it with? We got to put that in the grave with you.
Bury him with his. That's what I know. When the apocalypse really hits, I'll just go looking. I'll be like, we bury it. Where do we bury? Oh, that one. I need.
Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, like take good care of this.
Come to my grave to get that bastard.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, they will.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They totally will. I'm just trying to make light of it. Kiaski says, Richard, what's the UPC code on those primers? Okay. And then LV Louis Cypher wants to know if you want some primers, little baby face.
I already told him.
He sounds like a dude in a white van trying to offer you candy.
I know. You come on here, boy.
White van with primers on the side.
They could abduct me every day if it said free ammos or reloading equipment on the side of a van. I'd be gone.
He'd be so gone. And then Len Holt says, has anyone heard about modern primers having a shelf life? Is that a thing?
No, primers don't have a shelf life.
Yeah.
In Florida, they can if you don't take good care of them.
If you don't take good care of them. I've got primers that are 35 years old that I still use.
They'd still work fine.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just about keeping it dry. I recently actually went on Amazon and bought a big bag of desiccant packs that you can microwave and bring them back to life. And I've been throwing those things in all my ammo cans and my primer box with all the to try to keep because here in the swamp it is humid during the summer.
Yeah.
And all my stuff sits in the garage. It's all outside.
Right.
Yeah.
And like
safe.
All my stuff is in the garage, but I've got the air conditioning.
I would love to get an AC for our garage. That would feel fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, you can get a big. You can get the portable ones. Maybe we could.
Thought about
We might catch one of those, like at a surplus sale or something.
Hmm?
Get the
Yeah.
big. Tango Hunter says, "Wow, your guest lost a lot of weight."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
Richard.
you? I didn't even
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
When I came out of the hospital, when I went into the hospital, I was
Oh yeah, you can see it in your face.
230 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
When I came out, I was 201.
Yeah, you can
Wow.
definitely see like in
Yeah.
your cheeks and like under your chin. It's like
Yeah.
your face is down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on the worst possible way to lose weight.
Yeah.
To get
Yeah.
it cut
I,
out of you.
You guys have to keep it up, though. I mean, and we all do, me included.
I know.
We need to stay healthy, but
Yeah.
you got to keep up the exercise and stuff like that. I'm sure the doctors recommended some kind of exercise for you,
Oh,
right?
yeah. You know, my calves are fine now. I walk around enough. Like if I crouch down and then try to stand up,
Mm-hmm.
my thighs just burn. You know, I still haven't gotten my thighs back. And my arms are kind of flabby because I'm not doing, I'm not doing a lot of stuff out in the shop where I'm lifting stuff and whatnot.
I'm assuming they're gonna tell you don't lift anything over 10 pounds for like 6 months or something. It's gonna be a long time.
Yeah, they're like, I'm like, okay, can I get out of the hospital so I can go back to work? And they're like,
no,
oh no, hell
not.
no, you're not going out in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
Mickey has finally just let me start coming out into the shop a little bit. I was out
had
here
to
for about
sneak
an
out
hour and a half today.
When I got eaten by the lathe, I told Marley I wouldn't go in the shop for a month. The second weekend, I had to sneak out when she wasn't home and like work on stuff because I was like, I'm gonna go freaking nuts if I sit around the house all day, not working on guns.
Yeah. Let's see. We got a couple things. Razor JB says portable AC units run your electric bill like crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying not to do.
Yeah. You could do.
You need to get the thing that I've got. That it's one of those split unit heat pump deals.
Mm-hmm.
Just the one room things.
Yep, that's what I was thinking about doing. I need the problem is the garage door is just your very basic thin aluminum that's got plenty of ventilation on the side, so there would be no keeping that AC in. I need to get if I really am considering it, I need to get a one of the thick garage doors that's a little.
Yeah, but you can also go to Home Depot and get that. What is it? Inch and a half thick foam.
Yeah. Well,
just put that on the inside.
I guess I should say we're currently in the market for a new garage door to replacing the whole thing. So this might be a good time for me to just go, put a nice one in.
Yeah. Also, you can do, what is it called? A swamp cooler? Is it?
Swamp coolers, yeah.
It's a
it's a
that
fan.
sounds like something I would use to keep my butt from sweating.
Yeah, it's a fan. And there's like a waterfall of water that comes down in front of the fan.
Mm-hmm.
And it cools the air coming through the water.
Yeah.
Cool.
They work pretty good.
Yeah, and they're relatively inexpensive, right? I don't even know where you get those from, though. I've seen them like at Disney. You've seen them at Disneyland or Universal. You see them a lot, or versions of that.
And I'm guessing it's cheaper to run that.
Oh yeah, it's a lot cheaper because it's a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's a fan and a little pump.
Yep. Yeah. CJ says, "How about them firearms?" I guess we should talk about some firearm stuff here. So listen, I know when you were out, there were people, because you guys reached out and we did make a post about it and everything, but not everyone saw that. So there were people looking for orders and stuff. So you are catching up on those things as you can, right? Just for the folks out there who want to.
I am filling any orders that we have product for right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of a lot of stuff. I got to run stuff, but I'm just not up to standing behind the lathe right now.
Okay.
Hopefully by the end of this week,
mm-hmm.
I know I got Thursday, I've got my first chemo appointment, so that ought to be
You're gonna
Yeah.
see how you gotta find how you're gonna react to it because everybody
Yeah.
reacts differently.
So hopefully, end of this week, beginning of next week.
Yeah.
I will be right back. I'm gonna
Start,
Yeah. So,
start producing parts that we're out of, and
yeah. So for folks out there, the biggest thing that people could do is like help out by having some patience and stuff like that,
yeah,
and give
yeah,
Richard a chance to
that helps a lot.
get back in the
Uh,
swing. He didn't jack up the money and run away to the Bahamas.
I wanted to, but
You know.
and the other problem is with gunsmithing, and I haven't figured out what I'm going to do.
Hmm.
They put a chemo port in my chest,
Hmm.
and I hadn't thought about it because I was awake when they were putting it in.
Hmm.
They took me down to surgery and just gave me a local and put it in. And they were discussing, well, which side do we want it on, the right side or the left side?
Hmm.
And it's like, well, let's put it on the right side because it's easier and blah, blah. And I didn't think about it. I should have said, put it on the right because it's right here.
Okay.
I can't shoot. Because if I rupture that port goes right to my main arteries.
Oh.
So if I rupture that, I'll be dead before I hit the ground.
Mm.
So I'm sitting there when I fix a gun, how the hell am I going to shoot it?
You need someone to test. You need volunteers
Yeah,
to
I'm
test
probably
stuff. You know.
Yeah. Probably going to get Mickey up to speed, and then, in a couple of weeks, a month when my son comes home, get him up to speed and have them do the testing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I sure as hell don't want to go out that way.
No. Yeah, you want to be careful with that.
Yeah.
And you just need to be careful. Like, you don't want lead and stuff like that to add any complications to everything going on with you. Okay, looks like Patrick is still doing his thing. Key Askey had this question. Maybe you can answer it here. You'd be the only one I know. He says, does BWE know anything about D&D sales or U.S. barrel shrouds? Both sites appear to no longer be selling Uzi parts.
Yeah, D&D sales went out of business a year ago.
Okay.
There was two old guys that owned it, and they had got a younger girl to do a lot of the stuff. I don't know exactly what happened, whether one of them died or what, but they have been closed for about a year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
U.S. barrel shroud. Somebody just posted on Uzi Talk. I know they had family problems or something, but somebody just posted on Uzi Talk that their site is back up.
Which site are we talking about?
U.S. Is it U.S. barrel?
They've got a bunch of different ones.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Uzi gun parts or U.S. barrel shroud.
Mm-hmm.
I am not sure if they are back up.
Oh, that does look like a little mom and pop website.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, it's straight out of 1994.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see here.
Let's see if I can.
Yeah, while Rich is doing that, for you guys who are out there watching us right now, smash the thumbs ups. If we get 39 more, we'll get to 100, which will be awesome. Okay, so we appreciate that.
You know what? You just smash the thumbs down. It really doesn't matter.
True.
It just helps the algorithm. So smash any of them. Do them both, even though I think that'll change them. But you can try.
Yeah, have a good old time.
I don't care. And put a comment in there. Tell me how pretty I look tonight.
Use it. You always look pretty.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
This is how we get interaction.
This is you're pimping your own self.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh wait, what was your OnlyFans?
I need to make one. I don't know what I would show off on OnlyFans, but I could make one.
There's
people I can show off my scar on OnlyFans.
Trust me.
Where is it located? Well, you have an unusable butthole, so you could be like, "Look at my unusable
God.
butthole."
Oh,
Yeah,
God, no.
look at my unusable
please.
butthole. I still get a fart out of it now.
No,
and again.
dude.
Oh,
No,
God.
no, don't do
But they're
it.
little baby farts. They're just kind of
You know what was crazy?
No poop, though.
You know what was crazy? And I don't know if it was an April Fool joke or what. But did you guys see the thing that the baby that was born with 3 penises?
I saw that. I think it's real.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. Let's see. This is from the Jerusalem Post.
I don't think it's I'm pretty sure it was a real thing.
Yeah, so here, let me see if I can go sideways and get this bigger for people. Baby in Iraq, first human documented with 3 penises. Well, what?
Yeah.
Having 2 penises is known as diphalia. Occurs in 1 out of every 5 to 6 million births, but this is the first recorded case of triphalia. It's not triphalia as far as I'm concerned. If you fail with 3 penises, how can you fail with 3 penises?
There's a guy with, what was it called? Dualphalia?
Diphalia?
Diphalia. There's a guy who posted on Reddit saying, he has that, and then proceeded to show off his diphalia, his 2 diphthalias.
Yeah.
Is he a Mormon?
I it was a train wreck. I couldn't look away. I had to see what that would look like.
Yeah.
It's weird. It is weird. And supposedly they both work. It is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Also known, so this says the Kurdish baby from Dukuk is the first human to have been documented as such, according to Dr. Shakir Salim Jamali. A study on the find in the academic periodical International Journal of Surgery case reports. So, there's
Can
that
you
one.
pick where you want the other penises?
I want one on my toe and one right on my forehead.
I want one on each middle finger. Take my middle finger, put a penis there.
So here's what I would like to ask the folks out there. I would like to ask the folks out there, is this a good thing? Is this a thing that we want? Or is this a thing we don't want? It's like when
Are you suggesting that we use him for like experimental breeding purposes to make more people with triple penises?
Well, I'm just saying, are
we going to selectively breed more penises onto people?
Is this a thing that we want? Is this a good? It's just like, what's the name of that Schwarzenegger movie? Not True Lies, the other one. The what was it? The one
I know exactly what you're talking about.
The sci-fi one with the chick with 3 boobies. Yeah, it's yeah. But we all think, oh my God, 3 boobies. But for the woman having to live through that, it's probably a curse. So
it's a curse.
Is this a good thing or a bad thing for a dude? As we're all dudes here.
You gotta aim triple the times. You're never gonna not hit the toilet seat.
Wait a second.
It's always gonna go one way or the other.
Oh, hold on! I didn't even think about this.
Just take them and you hold them together.
You gotta
in a bunch.
Yeah. You gotta braid it. You gotta braid them.
Like a hair braid.
Imagine writing your name in the snow with that.
Oh God, it's just in triplicate.
My God.
Yeah.
The crazy Scotsman says, "WTF did I tune into?"
It's FreeForAll Monday. You never know what you're gonna
but I was just thinking, I was going to talk about that even last week, and I was like, is this a good thing?
I think it's real.
But is it good? Is it a good thing? Is this okay, let's do...
like a curse to me.
Yeah, Total Recall. Everyone's saying the movie is Total Recall.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, so by a show of hands, who wants to have 3 schlongs? Put your hands up.
I'm good with my single fonts. I'm just
only
throwing
if
that
I
out.
Can choose where they go.
You have to.
Yeah. I don't want to. One is too much responsibility.
Sometimes it can be. Sometimes it
I
takes
want
a whole
one right on top of my head. So then I'll be a true dickhead.
You want a ponytail?
Unicorn.
Yeah, a ponytail.
That's just tail.
Yeah, the unicorn. Yeah.
Comb over.
Yeah, I think most dudes are saying that they're pretty good with one.
Is that like the masculine version of Medusa would just be, instead of snakes, just dicks? You just have dick hair? Don't look the dicks in the eye?
No, hair. No. Don't want it anywhere near my face.
Oh yeah, it's like dreads, just hanging down.
No, thank you. I don't even want that thought.
Yeah, but what's it look like when you get a hard on?
Your hair just stands on end, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Mocock. Kiosk
Yeah.
calls it Mocock.
Yeah. That baby, I don't know what they're gonna do.
That
but,
sounds like a curse to me.
But if they try to have surgery on the baby, I'm gonna go with Boozy, who says, "Hey man, don't cut off his pee-pees. Don't cut off his pee-pees, man." Remember that? You guys don't even know what I'm talking about.
No, I have no idea what you're talking
So
about.
Boozy is the rapper. Boozy is the rapper who, that basketball player dude, and I think he's the husband of something. What's her name? Gabrielle Union, and how they were making their like transitioning their kid, and Lil Boozy did a video, and he was like, "Dude, you could do whatever you want to do, but man, don't cut off that boy pee pee. Don't cut off his pee pee, man."
God.
And I agree with him. I'm all kidding aside.
do.
Yeah, a kid is too young to do that. Don't do this to this kid. Leave him alone. Let him grow up and make his own choices. If you're born like this, if the universe sets you up with
you to have three peepees, there's a reason.
Yeah, you got three of them.
You were made
Rock
to
and
be a
roll.
cult leader. You can pleasure multiple women at the same time.
And think about it, the movies, the money he can make in X-rated movies.
Oh God, that's your.
I don't want to see that. I don't. Who would want to see that?
Well, it's not for you. You don't have to see it.
Nobody wants to see that.
There are people out there that probably pay good money for that.
Yeah. Kioski says, "Wait until you know what one is the biggest and works properly before you cut
And then
anything."
cut the others
Yeah.
off.
Oh my God.
I need them all to grow in before I get surgery.
Yeah, and Scorched Earth says, "Damn it, Hank, it's Boozy." Okay, Boozy. Yeah,
Boozy.
that guy.
What'd you call him?
I thought I said Boozy.
I thought you did too. I don't know what you said.
Boss Hog says Boozy Badass. Oh, it's not Little Boozy. Okay, it's not Little. See, there's a whole thing. You're either Boozy, Little Boozy, Big Boozy, Triple Boozies, whatever.
All the.
Yeah, but whoever it was, that video was so. I 100% agree with that video, and I also thought it was funny as hell. Don't cut off his pee-pee, man.
Now I have to go look this up.
He's from Louisiana. He's so funny. Yeah, so there you go.
Flying Rich, piss off.
What did I miss?
I don't know what.
You get a generator.
Wait, hold on a second. Was that Rich that said that?
Yes.
Said that.
What a fuck.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Just coming in and dropping bombs right there.
I know.
Yeah. DCG44 says, "Sounds like a Monday for sure."
It is. Welcome to Monday,
baby.
folks. You get your crazy shit in for the week.
That's how we get down, baby. Listen, we have to celebrate the day, like, when little baby Jesus came into the world, he had three wise men. This baby came into the world, and he had
three wise dicks.
Yeah,
Three wise men.
It's prophetic.
Three wise men. That's right.
Yeah, maybe the end of the world. Maybe this is the sign of the end of the world. When you come into the world and you have the Cerberus schlong. Cerberus? Isn't Cerberus the three-headed? Cerberus.
Dog. Yeah, you
Yeah.
need to name him Cerberus now.
Yeah. So, so anyway, let's see what other crazy stuff going on out there.
I don't have any idea.
Can you top that?
I don't think so.
Can you top that? I know Patrick, you were talking about Hunter Biden and his interview.
On
which
his
I know.
lies? Oh,
I didn't see.
God.
I didn't see the Hunter Biden interview. Here, let me see if I can roll it in while Patrick explains it to us.
Watched that little clip of him lying, and he's like a child. He's like a child trying to lie to all of us, thinking we're gonna believe him. It's just too bad. It's so bad.
Yeah. Look at his lineage.
He looks like it's. It
Have you
looks
seen
like
this
it's a
video of his
movie.
interview?
Yeah, it looks like it's a movie. That looks like
that shit up.
Yeah. That's like almost like a movie scene. Hunter Biden, man, that's good. Let me tell you something. What was the name of the tiger? What was the name of this? Charlie Sheen. Remember Charlie Sheen? What was he? Tiger God? What was Charlie Sheen's thing?
Tiger. Oh shit.
No, he wasn't
Yeah,
Tiger
Tiger
King.
Blood, I remember that.
Yeah, I think Charlie Sheen said he had tiger blood.
Yeah, something like that.
This dude, Hunter Biden, is
He's
batshit crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who is gonna play this? You know how they like to make movies of like conservative presidents or whatever. Who is gonna play Hunter Biden in a movie? This dude. Wow.
He's straight crazy.
And
Just
he's
go get one of the crackheads from Hollywood.
Yeah, there's plenty of them.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Crazy Scottman says, well, this is a unique chat to wake up to. Yeah, Hunter Biden, man. We haven't even, we're never going to see the bottom of the Hunter Biden well.
It's just too good. In the worst, it's a train wreck. It's a total train wreck. But the funny thing to me is he thinks people believe him. I think he does, at least.
Nobody believes this guy, man. It's so crazy.
He thinks somebody does.
Yeah. Len Holt says
Daddy.
Jim Carrey. Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson, yeah. Oh God, yeah. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
No, but so he was interviewing because he was. I think the craziest.
He's got a book out.
Smoked cheese for real. He's got a book out, yeah. So, by the way, I did do some research, and it turns out books are a great way to launder money that has been given to you for whatever reason. Just throw that out. Publishers take in lots of laundered money.
Okay.
But
I'll be coming out with a book.
Yeah.
Book out, yeah.
This is Babyface's P Reddit wisdoms.
They do. They can be known to do illicit things. Just the way he lies, it's so bad. It's like a child. It's like a 7-year-old looking at you and telling you, "No, I really didn't do that. I didn't take the last cookie." And you're like, "Bitch, I know you did. You're a terrible liar because you're 7." It hasn't changed. He's not changed. He's not grown up. So very interesting.
And he doesn't have to. I mean,
no, that's the scary thing.
He doesn't have to. He's still going to be protected by the powers that be out there. You know, I've said it before. Like, it's kind of messed up that Kodak Black had to do jail time and then had to be pardoned by Trump
because of
the same crime.
7473, right?
Yeah.
Same crime.
Yeah, and then literally the same idiots are trying to put forward the proposal that if you make people in Georgia show voter ID, that's racist.
That's racist. Yeah. I know.
However, the same idiots also want us all to have vaccine passports.
Yep.
I don't understand how you could logically do those two together. You're cool with vaccine passports, but God forbid you have an ID to vote. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, how's vaccine passports not racist?
I don't get it.
It's, well, there's, the whole reason they don't want voter ID is so they can get whoever they want to say whoever they are.
I think we all know that. Yeah, I think so. Sure. I think we all understand that. But
yeah, but how do these two ideas live in people's minds? And I know I saw a headline. Let me see if I could find this headline. I think maybe my brother sent this headline to me. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, so I'll run this in here. Let's see. Here it goes. Okay. Stunning number of voters favor vaccine passports. Biden administration quietly working with companies to develop standard. Fewer than half of likely voters favor a vaccine passport, quote unquote, that would allow a person to travel, shop, attend events, and interact with others. So, Rasmussen National Survey found that 44% say requiring proof of COVID-19 vaccination to return to pre-pandemic activities is a good idea. Only 41% said it's a bad idea, and 15% said they aren't sure. The poll was conducted March 30th to 31st, which is a very short time period.
My HIPAA compliant medical stuff is none of your business.
Yeah.
That would be the same as going up against your lawyer privilege. Mm-hmm. Your lawyer has privilege to know stuff about
attorney-client, yeah.
Attorney-client privilege.
Yeah.
Your medical records are the same thing. I don't understand how people don't get that.
HIPAA is supposed to be very, very powerful, but these guys, people don't have any rights in the world we live in today.
It's insane. It's scary. Yeah. We're getting to a very scary place.
I won't do that. For sure I won't do that. Now, I do agree with people having to show ID to vote. This is incredibly important to our nation. Mm-hmm. Okay? And therefore, according to the Constitution, the laws of the nation, you have to be a citizen to vote, right? Or in some places there's residency and things like that you could be a resident and you could vote, but you have to be able to establish that and prove that. And so, we don't, not only for that, there's also corruption and fraud and things like that involved in it, and you should have to show that. So I get that, but people are saying if we say that we're being racist because black people, all people of color are too poor and too ignorant to be able to get ID, yet we should all have to show passports to prove that we're vaccinated.
Even honestly, truly believes that. I don't
either.
Yeah.
I think they're just making up excuses to do whatever they can.
Yeah, well, I hope that really people in America don't believe this and don't go for this, and that this poll is somehow wrong. And I see here in the poll it says, the survey also found 40% of whites didn't like the idea, 50% of blacks, and 42% of other non-whites. So, but this is not a good idea to make people show this. And what does it even matter? Look, we went through our own little scare here, and even my younger son took the test. He's negative. The older one that was positive is negative now. Lola and I were both negative. Why are we even trying to make people go through this? Most people in America have probably contracted this thing already and gone through it. Why are we still trying to control people? Why is it April of 2021 and we are still locking down the nation and even floating the idea of now people have to walk around, to move around the country with COVID passports? It's insane. Why not?
Because they want control.
Yeah,
that's
put
exactly
a freaking tattoo on us, that so you can discriminate against us or something like that. And in the same breath, they're talking about discrimination.
They don't truly believe it, though. None of the people that are spouting discrimination truly believe it. If you look at the flip-flopping, Stacey Abrams last week flip-flopped as hard as possible. Now that the MLB is pulling out and they've instantly lost millions and millions of dollars, Stacey Abrams has come out and said, "Well, you shouldn't boycott. Boycotting is all right in certain circumstances, but this isn't the time to boycott." So I don't believe the left truly believes any of this. They're just using it as a talking point.
Well, they're just trying to see what they can get away with.
Do they think people are stupid enough to listen to that?
They are testing. Yes, they are testing to see what they can get away with and what they could push on people. But what the hell does this mean? I mean, these are the same people. If you think about the people who are talking about this, a few years ago, maybe a year and a half ago in California, they said that, you're not even, you shouldn't even be held criminally liable if you have AIDS, knowingly sleep with someone and transfer. Yeah. What the hell? How do all of these things live? Where's the Constitution? When these people think that you can force people to prove that they have a vaccine that's unproven, that obviously there's folks out there who are getting sick from taking the vaccine. Women are getting more sick than even men, right? Or having adverse reactions to these vaccines. Why are we forcing people to do this?
Yeah.
And where does it go? Go ahead.
My mother told me this morning, a friend of hers that she walks with got the vaccine a couple of months ago. All of a sudden, a couple of weeks ago, she started waking up in the morning and she couldn't move. She couldn't talk. She couldn't do anything. And it'd be like that for a day or two, and then she was fine. And then a week later, same thing. She's going to all these doctors, and all of them say it's the vaccine, but we don't know why.
Has anybody? So the companies that have produced these drugs, the vaccines and everything, have guaranteed protections from the government.
Immunity.
Yep.
So you can't even sue them if they were to screw your life up. Like, I just, that's distrustful to me. Why would I trust somebody that has guaranteed protection? Why do you think they have your best interest in mind if you have to put legislation in to guarantee their protection?
Yeah.
Well, the problem is people need to start hunting down the scientists who came up with it, the CEOs, and executing them. Plain and simple. If the government won't protect you, we got to protect ourselves.
Sometimes it feels that way.
Yep.
For legal
Minecraft.
for legal reasons.
That is my
Should say,
personal
yeah,
opinion.
Minecraft.
But here's the thing. It's just ridiculous to me that, they're trying to push people into that. It's not just this vaccine. It's not just the COVID-19 vaccine, right? It's all the vaccines, all the things they want people to take. If you allow people to do this, if you give them something, they will never give it back to you. You lose your Friday, you never get your Friday back. I've said it over and over and over and over again. We are in April of 2021 and we're still freaking locked down
For 2 weeks.
over the flu.
Yep, for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're still locked down over the flu. These guys will never give it back. If you give them this ability to force people to have to walk around with papers proving that whether or not they have this vaccine, they're going to tag lots of shit onto that.
Yep.
There's going to be all kinds of vaccines that your children will have to have. And here's what I'm saying to you. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I've had lots of vaccines in my life. I've been traveling since I was 5 years old, right? So I've got a ton of different vaccines and all that kind of stuff. Maybe that's why I'm so crazy. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is people need to be able to make these choices. And people need to be able to wait and figure out when they want to do things. Or maybe they don't need to do it. If folks like us have been sick before and now we've got some kind of immunity, it's probably not forever, but it's lasting for a little. We don't have to rush in and jump into doing anything. People have choices in America. You either have these choices or you don't have them. And if we allow them to force this on us, especially at the same time they're saying, yeah, anyone could just walk in here, walk over the border, come in here, do whatever you want to, vote, participate in anything. Anyone asks you for ID, they're being racist. However, if we choose to use this power against you of saying, hey, where's your vaccine passport? You can't travel or do whatever. Come on, man. That's totally insane.
Yeah.
Kioski says you must have your papers.
Yes, it's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I was against the vaccine before, and now I found out I have cancer, and I haven't decided whether I'm going to get the vaccine or not, but I'm thinking more now, no, than before. Because they don't know how it's going to affect chemo. They don't know if it's going to supercharge the cancer. They don't know how it's going to affect me. Fine, you put it in writing exactly how it's going to affect me, and you guarantee that.
They can't do that.
Yeah.
And
that can't be done.
Listen, this is a thing that everyone needs to make up their mind and make their choices on. But the idea that we're going to say to people, you can't fly around America, you can't drive around America, you can't go back to school, you can't do this. You know what everyone should do in America? Stop doing anything. I know this is going to sound crazy. Don't do anything. Let's see where these mofos, how they're going to keep this economy going. Let's see how they're going to just keep printing money and get everything back to work in here.
I don't know what the end result is. I don't fully understand what the end result of all of this is, because you will crash the country by just printing money and continuing down our path. You're just going to end up crashing the country into nothing. But is that the ultimate goal? Like, maybe by crashing the country, you get more power in the end? I don't fully understand that.
Maybe you get the reset that you're looking for. Maybe you get all the 9/11. We lost the Constitution as what's the name of that guy that was on Rogan?
I'm not sure.
the CIA guy that released documents and stuff. They were trying to get Trump to pardon him.
Just Snowden.
Snowden.
Yeah.
Mhm.
9/11, we lost so many rights, man. And what they're doing now is just zipping it all up. And when you turn around, you have no rights. And the real scary part of it is when you don't have the ability to stand up for yourself and fight back and push back against these people doing it, you have no choice but to just cooperate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you do have a choice.
Yeah, exactly. People aren't. It's not a pretty choice, though.
Yeah.
No.
Well, yeah, well, I think we do have choices here, and this is why they're so adamant about figuring out ways to go against our choices and our right to defend ourselves, right? Because they want to say, no, you're just going to have to deal with it. This is the end goal, I think, of all of this, right? To have people be completely 100% totally disarmed, toothless and clawless, and dependent on the government for everything.
And they're going to have to kill a lot of people.
A lot of people are naturally gonna die in that process.
Yeah, a lot of people are just going to, oh, okay, no problem. Look at all the people on welfare who have no intention of getting off of welfare.
Welfare state is one of the worst things to happen to this country in general.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not against helping people when they need help. But, these people that are on welfare for generations.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous,
Also,
that's past help.
yeah, I think I would hope that people would see everything that's going on here and push back against it. I really do. I hope that people realize what's happening here and how hypocritical it is and two-faced this system is, that's telling you that anyone could come in here and vote and do whatever they want to. But for you, an American, to move around and do your business and live your life in America, you have to have some stupid-ass passport.
No.
That's because you're a racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly that. I love how that's the answer to everything nowadays.
Yeah.
You don't like this, you're racist.
And
Which is just insanity.
Yeah. So we'll see where this all goes. I really would hope that most Americans really wouldn't go.
I guess you saw DeSantis the other day already passed a thing saying Florida will not approve any of that.
Yeah, and he's asking the Florida Congress to write a law.
Yeah.
To strengthen his position, which is a good thing.
Yes. Yep.
I need to email the politicians here in Florida and say you need to write this and pass it.
Yeah, and I just want to show this headline in this thing, and then we could probably go on to another thing. Now, this is from Vox, okay? But I want to show the headline. Companies are condemning Georgia's new restrictive voting law. Their criticism came too late. It's talking about it. Brands have taken to weighing in on social issues. Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Coke and Delta's condemnation in Georgia is a little different, and it goes on. So Coke, Delta Airlines, all these places trying to say that it's racist for people to have to show ID when they're voting. Here's what I wonder. Do you have to show ID to get on planes?
You gotta show ID to do.
This is what's so crazy, right? You have to show IDs to get on planes and travel and stuff like that, but they don't want you to show ID to do this thing. The people working there show any kind of ID? I would like to know.
Yeah.
I
need to schedule a Delta flight somewhere.
Yeah, let's figure
and
out.
Just tell them, no, I'm not showing you my ID.
Yeah.
I don't need an ID.
Let's figure out exactly what we're doing here. I know you were talking about going to the hospital before, but what about if all of us, when we get sick, we're like, no, I'm not showing ID. I'm sick. You got to treat me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, figure that out. Figure that one out. This is how we crash everything. When people start seeing all these inconsistencies of things, look, I think there's things that are reasonable for people to say, okay, we want to identify who you are. If you're going to work somewhere, they should be able to identify who you are, right? If you're if you're trying to travel from one state to another, that's not anyone's business. I'm not happy that you have to show all this stupid ID just to get on a plane and travel inside of America. It's one thing. Maybe we're just all used to it. Okay, we're going to Canada, you're going to Mexico, you're going to another country. But let's figure this all out and decide exactly where we are, and stop putting out a confused message. And it's not anyone's right to know what you haven't had, what shots and all that kind of stuff. Especially when you're traveling inside of America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is the weird, and it won't stop there. Eventually there'll be other things added to this that they're going to say, you know what, you can't do this unless you had this.
Oh yeah.
They're
just going to keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, we don't know what Bill Gates is putting in there. We don't know what kind of population control. Yeah. We don't know what kind of population control and all that's going on. All right, let me see. Let's pull up some other stuff here. I don't know if there's gun related. You know what is interesting that I did see? I showed this before, and this is on The Truth About Guns if you want to see this. And I showed you all this before. Things that don't suck. Stockade mounting systems, long gun mounts. Remember I showed this?
No.
Remember I showed the bracket that you can put the the stock of your AR into. So this is on The Truth About Guns. This is from Dan Zimmerman. He says, there I was walking through the Palmetto State Armory gathering event a couple weeks ago, checking out the exhibitors, when I ran across this. And I ran into this also, and I thought, wow, it's pretty simple and really cool. The Stockade Mounting Systems is a new Ohio-based company that makes this unique long gun mounting system that can be attached to, just about anything, on a wall, under a shelf, on the back of a door, virtually anywhere you can sink a couple of screws. And the Stockade mount is basically an L-shaped piece of steel that can be screwed into almost any surface, allowing you to then secure just about any firearm with a stock for easy storage. So this is awesome. I don't know if you folks have seen it out there. Here it is with is this a shotgun? Looks like a shotgun or something here in this picture. Here's an AR. So very cool. I mean, I know for a fact that this is a small company, like basically like
mom and pop shop.
Yeah, mom and pop kind of thing. But I think this is really cool.
How do you get the gun off of it?
You just put it in.
Pull it out straight sideways.
Yeah, you just pop it in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So those little buffers, what would you call those buffer type of things that are in there? You just put it in between there, and then grab so. If you look on it on the piece of metal, there's three kind of like buffer type of things, or like wheel chocks or something like that there. And when you put the stock in, it just stops right there and holds it. With gravity. So I think it's a really good idea, man.
Yeah, the ARs made it look like the screws went through the AR stock into the plate, and it's how the hell do you get it off?
Yeah. The Juice says anywhere you can. Yeah, Juice says anywhere you can sink a couple of screws. Laugh out loud. Brick says I can use a shovel hanger from Lowe's for that, or 2 nails.
I didn't even think about that, but that's a funny joke.
Yes, you can, but I like the simplicity. I've got no money or any kind of interest in that thing. Matter of fact, I actually reached out to the guy, and I never even got a response from him. But I think it's a really good idea. So, and it is very simple, and it's not even expensive. That thing's like $30.
Yeah.
So it's not an expensive thing. Lola Strange says, I'm surprised that doesn't fall under HIPAA violation. They can break whatever rules they want. So anyway,
she's a little far behind. She's kind of backwards on the.
Yeah.
But no, I think we all agree there.
Yeah. What? Let's see. What other cool things? Did you guys see John Crump put out a article in AmmoLand? Let me see. I'll throw that up here. Also, why introducing DRM into 3D printed firearm files is a bad idea. This is from John Crump.
DRM is a terrible idea for everyone.
Yes.
The hell's DRM?
Digital rights management. It keeps you from stealing intellectual properties. The point of 3D printing is to allow everybody to do it. So that's
This became a thing at the end of last week. I think that Yes, because I think it's one of the things that Pink has had something to say about, but he doesn't really understand. He was kind of
I
like
don't think he
trying.
understands a whole lot of anything.
Yeah, recently he's become a 3D gun guru, printed gun guru, apparently. But
He
There's a
can
lot
also
of those
do
going
that.
yeah,
around.
but he apparently believes in DRM, and so the whole
All
thing
right,
about
wait, you're serious? So this is getting even worse. Okay, I'm gonna hold my mouth.
yeah, just chill. Yeah, so the whole thing is, I think there was an older interview, maybe I don't know if it was a couple months ago or when it was, with We Like Shooting, where he said that he likes the idea of digital rights management, for different reasons. I'm paraphrasing. I don't want to get too deep into that. So the basic idea of it would be, and the government is trying to go for this too, to keep you from being able to 3D print whatever guns that you want to. And from what I saw, the snippet I saw, he was saying like, oh well, you pay a company for this, and then you can print this thing 3 times, and if you don't get it right, then you got to pay them again, blah blah blah. This all goes back to Napster and blah.
You don't
Yeah,
own that. Companies don't own those.
yeah,
The 3D printing is not about corporatism and owning digital rights stuff, IPs and whatnot. That's not what it's about. It's about the idea of proliferating firearms to whoever wants to make one, because printers are available everywhere.
yes. And the files are out there. So now there's a couple of nuances in there, right? So if, for example, BWE Firearms comes up with something and that's 3D printable, and you want to sell it to someone, Rich, hey, I'm fine with that. You want to sell it to someone or whatever,
Yeah.
you've got to, that's one thing. But for the folks out there who these things are already floating around, the designs and all that kind of stuff, and people have put it in the open source realm. I don't think there should be any restrictions on
No.
that.
No.
Nope.
If you put it in the public realm,
And it's public.
then you put it in the public realm.
Yeah.
I'm working on a couple of different things. Parts and stuff that I'm going to 3D print.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? I'm going to sell the parts.
Yeah, you won't sell the files,
I'm
right?
not going to give away the file.
Well, once you put a file out there, regardless of what you do, it's out in the world. So it's like this video. If someone really wants to download this video and own it or whatever, I can't stop them. I can attempt to do stuff or whatever, but ultimately I can't stop that, right? And there's the one side where you want to appreciate people for the stuff that they do. There's the other side where people want to use that to limit or stop altogether people being able to create 3D guns. So I think that's what this article, this is the discussion that they're having, and
they're just mad that people can make guns.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing I don't understand is people in this country have been making their own guns since before this country was a country.
Oh yeah.
It's nothing new. It's just new technology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The 3D genie is out of the bottle, and obviously the government's going to try to pull it back or make people into criminals. You are not a criminal for manufacturing your own firearms, and you should never, ever, ever be a criminal. And
as long as you don't do it with the intention to sell it, it's legal.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, let's see. Rebel Sapper says, check out the Got Your 6 app. I think it's a great idea, but they aren't gaining much traction. I'm not sure what that is. I would have to find out.
I've heard the name. I've heard the thing, but I don't exactly know what it is either.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah.
I've been in the hospital. I don't know shit.
The world stopped turning for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah. I would have to check it out. The Juice says all the third world countries still make 1911s.
Do you think you're going to be able to cap that ever?
No.
Does anybody really think
No.
the only thing that a government can do is try to get ahead of it and figure a way for it to, I don't even know, but somehow to track it. That's the worst thing a
Government
government can
is
try to
always trying to shut down everything, right? Bitcoin,
Yep.
cryptocurrencies become big. Government
do.
wants
Big
to
government
play in the game.
stifles innovation, hands down, 100% every time.
Yeah.
Big government has never helped innovation. Maybe World War II pumping money into the arms market or the just factories in general, bringing things up to speed, but government itself has never helped with innovation. That's not what they do.
Nope.
They stifle innovation. They put their thumb on innovation.
Yeah. Yeah. What I would say, in relation to like all of this stuff going on, I think we should all be really careful. There's folks out there that are the people that are anti-gun right now and trying to put in laws and all this kind of stuff. They are very smart. They have some consultants. They have some people who somewhat understand guns. They have some maybe experts. We could put that. We could put it that way. But this is a concerted, organized effort, and we will notice as time goes on here that there's a lot of similar language being put out here by these people, and some of these people look like they're gun guys or pro-gun guys, and they're doing it under the guise of being rational and
Wolf in sheep's clothing is exactly what it is.
Yeah. So everyone needs to be really careful about that. And the 3D gun space is one of the spaces that really has raised the ire of folks. And if we're not careful, it could lead to even, so I remember when I didn't want to do drones anymore, when the government wanted to come in now and started controlling drones, and they're they're going to crash planes with these drones. These little ass drones can't crash any planes.
Could you imagine a drone getting to 30,000 feet? Could you imagine? That's the best drone I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but they use that to put in controls in the drones that are out there.
That's what government does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They use emotional arguments, and you say government, that it's the people that are running it at the moment. They use emotional arguments to get you to fall for losing your rights.
Yeah. So I think we need to just pay attention to everything that's going on and be careful, because we don't want this starting to happen to 3D printers, right? Where they get into the realm of the 3D printers and try to put in gates and things like that in there to stop us from being able to print whatever we want to.
They can't.
They're going to try. Late. I think they're going to try.
Oh, they're going to try. But corporations are going to come in and stomp on them.
Mm-hmm.
Because 3D printing, screw the individuals.
Mm-hmm.
They don't matter. What matters in the 3D industry is the corporations that are spending $1 million on a 3D printer to do prototype work.
Mm-hmm.
You think they're going to sit there and let the government say, oh, you can't use a 3D printer anymore? Kiss my ass.
I hope not. I hope not. I hope
they're gonna try.
Yeah, I hope this reasonable argument is like people in the industry don't get convinced that they should support this. I don't think that people personally being able to 3D print things is going to lead to be a big loss for the industry. I think that 3D printing it's great for the industry as well as the individual.
Right.
Okay. And people are free to do what they want to do. If you're in the industry and you want to create files and tell people, pay me for this file, you get the file and then you can print whatever. It's all good.
Yeah.
Right? If people want to share files and all that kind of stuff, you can't stop people from taking the files and modifying them. That's,
And
so
the thing is, now in the 3D printer industry, the individuals, the small time people, are driving innovations just as much as the corporations that are spending $1 million.
Yeah,
I think the solo guys out there that are designing, developing, making improvements are leading innovation more so than any large corporation.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're doing innovation on the other end.
Yes. Yep.
The big companies are working on metal printers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yep.
And as they get the metal printers, because these big, huge companies have the money to buy them, as they get those refined, the price will come down. The low end guys are working on, well, how can we make our $200 printer better?
Mm-hmm.
And they're making, the whole thing better.
Mm-hmm.
How can it be better? How can it be cheaper? How can we make it faster? Right. Everything.
How can we put 2 print heads on it instead of 1?
I'm very surprised that the government hasn't stifled 3D printing innovations yet, because that's what they're best at. Jumping in, regulating.
They want to, and on our side, we should never support their efforts in that. None of us should ever support their efforts.
I don't know of a government thing that I've supported in the last since I was born. If you really think about
it, the only thing I support in regards to the government is them getting smaller, shrinking.
Yeah,
going away.
Exactly, and that's not in their interest. So
no.
Yeah. But I would say that, look, the smaller guy, okay, so big industry, you've got expenses, you've got employees, all the kinds of things that goes into it. So you're developing things, you're looking in a specific direction. Like right now, they're working on how to mass manufacture carbon fiber and all kinds of stuff like that, right? That's what's happening in the world, and the bigger industries are automotive, aerospace, etc. Now, on the small side, there's accessories and things like that people go, who the hell wants that? Nobody wants that. And as with a 3D printer, you have the ability to make that thing, perfect it amongst people in the community, and something that people, if they look at it, there's no return on investment, can be developed by the smaller guys until the bigger industry goes, oh wait, that's all a big thing now, and then maybe they jump in and they start supplying that to you for cheaper than what it would cost for you to print it. This is how it works.
This idea has been done ad nauseum throughout human history.
Mm-hmm.
It goes back, it's the same that we've done in industrialization of the country, going back that far.
Mm-hmm.
Women were hand stitching for a long time, and then the sewing machine came around, and then women decided they were going to start making things with the sewing machine, and then corporate companies went in and improved it and then brought the technology back in-house, which made things better. Like, this whole process has been the exact same since human history began.
Yeah. This is how we move forward, and I think efforts to stifle all of this will kill what America's supposed to be. If we don't innovate, if we don't move forward, if we don't find our niche of what we make and manufacture and what we develop in America, which, by the way, right now, and probably in the future going forward, is going to be IP, intellectual property.
Which is sad. We need to stop thinking that IP is the only thing that we can manufacture, and move back to the idea of and machinery, CNC machinings, things like that have gotten to the point now where I think we are finally getting it back to where, like me, I could have a garage, I could go get a used Haas for 20 grand and start making whatever the hell I wanted. Like, we're pretty close to that point where I can almost afford to go get a pretty decent CNC machine and make anything, everything.
And if you make something with a high enough quality, the world will be the path to your doorstep, right?
Absolutely. I absolutely think so.
Yeah. I think that's the whole point of it. I mean, that's what I look forward to seeing, like with Richard. And I know you're like kind of old school, right, Richard? You've got the old school tools and ways of developing parts and all that.
That lathe that's behind him is, well, so I'd say, Richard, your CNC mill is old school. It's like first-ish, second generation CNC milling. That lathe is fancy as hell, though.
Yeah, but the controls on my CNC mill are better than the controls on the lathe.
Really? Oh, you upgraded them yourself?
Because I have refit the mill with new controls.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're 15 years old.
What year was that mill made?
That mill was made in 1979.
Yeah. That tells you what generation. That's like first gen CNC.
It was the first gen CNC that Bridgeport made.
Yep. And
then when I got it, I ripped the controls off of it because they weren't working, and I put new centroid controls on it. And it's 4-axis.
Is that the big? You're not talking about the big machine right behind you, are you?
No, that's. Let's see if I can do this.
Yeah.
Without. that's my lathe.
This is the lathe. Okay.
Yep. And then let's see.
There you go. That's the Bridgeport CNC.
Oh, wow.
We have a 4th axis, which is very, very nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's
Wow.
my mill.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
I'm in the
See, and
market for
the gray box next to it. Let's see if I can. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the new controls.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
a nice manual Bridgeport is my next investment. At some point, I want to get one. God, I want one so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, I'll get there.
Yeah. You should be apprenticing with Richard. You know. I mean, I know you are kind of already.
I don't officially apprentice with Richard, but if I have questions on how to do things, he's the first person I call. Like, if I'm like, how is this done? How was this done historically? What's the best way? Richard's absolutely the first person I gave a call to because he knows it. Yeah. I don't doubt that he has the answer, the correct answer.
And then
I just tell him to screw off.
Yeah. How much you paying me for that? I don't think I got a check out of you last
When you have some batshit crazy idea like, oh, I'm going to get one of those and put it in my garage, then Richard goes, Babyface is going to do this. And I'm like, dude, he's crazy. You can't stop him.
I ran by Richard getting the Tormach. I ran by Richard getting a Tormach because those fully pimped out are about $25,000. And multiple people have told me, don't go the Tormach route. Go for an older Haas or an older CNC, full-size CNC machine. It's a better buy than buying a brand new Tormach.
Yeah, look for one of the Haas mini mills.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Better buy, better all around. So eventually I'll probably do that.
And that's probably what I'm going to get because I'm starting to look for a new mill.
Okay.
And I'm not going to stop using this one. I'm going to have 2.
Okay, I was going to say, if you could just go.
You're gonna get like the.
And I'm looking for a mini mill.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where you're gonna fit it in that garage. You're gonna have to sink the pool and make a underground garage where the pool is.
I'll find a spot for it.
Yeah. So Flying Rich says, you know how many Bridgeports got scrapped on Long Island?
I don't like those thoughts.
Yeah.
It makes me so upset.
Yeah.
Schools getting rid of them, scrapping them, tool yards getting rid of them, and
lots of
them.
Awesome old school stuff went that way.
Old machines. I have learned, and Richard has given me good advice on this as well. When I first looked into getting a lathe, I had looked at getting a brand new Chinese lathe or a Taiwanese lathe. And this is before Richard and I talked, but even once I got my lathe working, I was like, well, this is too much. I don't know if I need this. I should downsize. And he was like, you're never going to beat that big piece of cast iron. It's just, it will run forever. And I've learned I can throw a whole lot of metal at that thing and have chips flying, and it just goes. It has no problem just going. And I am subconsciously right now rubbing my arm. I didn't even realize until this moment that I'm rubbing
we were all thinking about that. Yeah, I was thinking about it too.
I'm rubbing something, but it ain't my arm.
Yeah, Rich is rubbing one of his 3 penises right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the back of his. He's got it like this back of his head.
He's like, how did they know? How did they know I was that? So listen, before we start to wrap up here, I want to share something. So Pixamite out there is always getting me cars. You guys know I'm a massive fan of cars. And, since I don't have the kind of moolah to just buy them like crazy, which I would do if I had the money, to be honest. I'll just buy cars every day. I'm going to share. He sent me a big box here of cars. I just want to share a couple of them. So this is the R8, which I'm a fan of. And you can never have too many of these. I've showed you guys this before I have them, but this is exactly my Gen R8 right here. So that's awesome. And then he put on here, what? Laugh out loud on this one. This is actually the Corvette C8R. So this is the race version of the new C8 Look at that. Tell me that's not sexy. That's not sexy. No, it's sexy. It is sexy, sir. That's really sexy. And then here's another one. Matchbox is starting to up their game, he says here, on this one. So that's another C8 right there. Big thanks to him. These awesome. I just love to. I'm going to get a C8 one of these days. Here is a Ford. I'm in a Ford. Babyface is a Ford guy. Ford GT40. classic.
That's my dream car.
Yeah, the
That is my dream
GT40
car.
is a nice car. First
if I
car
ever
I
had
went
the money-
200 miles an hour.
Yeah, look
If
at
I ever
that.
had the money, that is my dream car, and Marley knows.
Awesome story behind this, Ford versus Ferrari, for anyone out there who hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the movie?
Yes,
Now,
it's
babyface, you're talking a Ford GT40, not that piece of shit Ford GT, right?
Not the new one. I would get a 90s.
I'm sorry, what's
The
wrong with the new one?
GT40.
What? Did you just
The new one's too expensive. They priced it out of what it originally was kind of made to be. The GT40 and the 90s GT you can still get those for like 120.
I would get any one of them. But the new one is amazing.
I just don't have 500,000 to drop on a.
If you ever see the new one in real life, that thing is.
I'm sure it's beautiful.
It's a Le Mans car. And by the way, here it goes. That's the new one.
Here.
Boom. There you go.
You want to hear a good story about a GT40, and I'll make it quick.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
A friend of my dad's. My dad had European collector cars when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd do the car show thing. A friend of ours had an original 67 GT40.
Mm-hmm.
And he never showed it. He'd take it to the show and he'd park it right next to us to be an asshole. Because the car was perfect.
Uh-huh.
So my mom's an artist. He had a board that he would put up with all the specs for the car.
Mm-hmm.
So we had my mom redo his board, do a copy of it.
Mm-hmm.
What is the car? Kit car built on Volkswagen chassis.
Oh no, that's cold.
Top speed, 80 miles an hour down a steep cliff. You know, the whole thing, motor, Briggs and Stratton 5-horse motor, the whole thing. We switched his sign out. It was like 4 hours before he realized it. Because he came up to my dad and he's like, why the hell are all these people asking me where I can get a kit car like this? Jesus Christ, it's $500,000
That's
car.
cruel. Do you know, those cars are more than that now.
Yeah, they're way more than that.
Yeah.
Last time I saw him, he still has that sign from my mom hanging up in his shop.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, out there, all the real history is what you see from back in the '60s with Ford versus Ferrari. Yeah. But the engineering and everything that goes into that, like Ford is right on the edge. The only company I think, obviously like Tesla's doing stuff or whatever, but with the C8 Corvette, GM actually is coming close to some real cool innovations, I think, with that. But you really come on, man, that Ford GT is just an amazing car. What they did with that story, I'll take anyone. I'll take a kit.
Yeah, and
yeah,
those original GT40s, those things were a beast.
Mm-hmm.
That goddamn 500 cubic inch, 500 horse motor sitting behind your head.
It has to be pressing the pedal on that thing, or even just starting the engine on that thing has to be an amazing experience.
Just listening to it run.
The guy who owned it took me for a ride the one day on the street.
Oh, wow.
So nice.
Around his house. We went down one of the main drags, and he was doing 100 miles an hour between lights on this main drag.
Yeah, those are
just
amazing.
Slamming me back in the seat.
Yeah, those are amazing. Listen, Richard, it's so good to see you, man. I'm glad that you're here. Yeah, you're on the path.
It's good to be here anywhere. Trust me.
Absolutely. Tell the folks out there how can they help you out? How can they support you? How can they communicate with you?
Right now, I haven't even gotten the bill from the hospital. The hospital has said because of what I make, there might not be a bill.
Mm-hmm.
They said they will definitely reduce the bill.
Mm-hmm.
So until I know what I owe, man, just give me your prayers.
Awesome.
If
Absolutely.
it comes down to it where, I need financial help or anything else, I'll let you guys know, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We will keep the. I know you're going to keep doing the business, so we want the orders to keep
Yeah.
coming in,
Oh,
but we
yeah.
do need some patience from the folks out there to get stuff supplied, get stuff into
Yeah.
you and
Yeah.
everything.
Give me some time to get strengthened back up and get back into the swing.
Hmm.
But I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. And selfishly, Richard Hoffman has got a massive wealth of knowledge that we should never ever let leave the world unrecorded.
Yeah.
And we've got to figure out. I
Yeah,
know
we got to
Patrick is
figure out
gonna.
a way to record it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole group of people that were yelling and screaming while I was in the hospital and calling me. Why the hell do you have time to do videos? And, well, I'm dying in the hospital right now, asshole.
Yeah, that it just so happened that we put those videos out at the same time that you went in, and that's just how videos work. I mean, I just said today I put up a video from 4 or 5 months ago. So that's just the nature of how it works. So
But really, everybody, more than anything, if you're feeling sick, go get checked out. Don't do what I did and wait until till it was almost too late.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go
Absolutely.
get the camera shoved up your ass when you're supposed to.
Get the digital test, man. I think when you hit 40 as a dude, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, as a 40
you
got to
get
get
50 or something.
Yeah, if you're at high risk, you got to do it more often.
I'm 30, so I'm 31, so I haven't hit 40 yet. My doctor offered last time I was for my GP, and I was like, I think I'm all right. But then she was like, do we need to check your testicles for cancer? I was like, I take care of that every night. You don't need to worry about that. If there's something growing, I will find out real quick.
I told you, him and Buckshot are exactly the same. And then Marley's like,
oh my God, I'm 32. I just turned 32 in February. Jesus Christ.
Oh, you're 30. Yeah.
Why would you do that to me? Why would you do that? I was 31 still for 5 minutes.
In your mind.
Oh, in my mind, I was 31.
All right,
Babyface.
Babyface.
To remind you that you're old.
Yes.
Exactly it.
Yeah, Babyface, tell the folks out there, did you put out a video today?
Video's going out today. I'll probably have another one tomorrow to make up for the lack of video because I forgot. Richard, I know you noticed because you sent me a text about that chambering, and I might go a little deeper on it, but I forgot to put that video out, even though the gun has already been test fired. So that video went live today.
Okay.
And tomorrow, depending on how I feel tomorrow, I may put out the video of doing the stock, reworking the stock. I did a hand oiling on the stock, and it turned out wonderful. So
okay, yeah, I saw.
Takes a lot of time, but it turned out great.
Yeah, I think I saw that gun.
Rubbing things with his hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get that oil and just rub it on it.
That's why he's got some shiny brass balls.
Yeah.
Listen, on my part, we should have a video going up tonight or something with Kevin Dixie and Eric from Iraq Veteran. When we were out there in Georgia, I've got a few more things that are going to be coming out of that. I want big thanks to TUSC Firearms Crypto. You guys all need to look into that. You're going to see the necessity for that here very shortly. Lots of cool things coming from them as well. I am going to run in the end here, and then we're going to come back for the final words, and we want them from Richard Hoffman, right, Patrick?
That's right.
Final words, so we'll be back here in 1 second. Hang tight with us. All right, guys, thanks for watching the show. We really appreciate you all hanging out with us here. Make sure you smash those thumbs ups, ring the bell, and so you can be notified every time we go live. We are going to rip the audio out of this and put it up on iTunes and all the other places you get your audio podcast. Thanks so much. Richard Hoffman, BWE Firearms. Hit us with your words of wisdom, sir.
Words of wisdom. I have no wisdom. Thanks for all the prayers. I really appreciate it, and it helped. And, make sure you guys take care of yourself. Get checked if you need to get checked. I'm serious about that shit.
Yeah.
Because it almost killed me not doing it.
Absolutely. Do your colonoscopies and things like that out there, guys, if you need to. And if you don't feel good, go to the hospital and get checked out.
Yeah.
Regardless of whatever your healthcare situation is.
Whatever your healthcare, the hospital will take care of you. They cannot turn you away.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thanks so much. Great surprise seeing you here. Great seeing all of you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. We're out of here. Peace. Good night.